Miningscout auf der Diggers und Dealers und wieder freue ich mich über einen interessanten Gesprächspartner. Es ist Peter Nesvida von Potash West. Thanks Peter for joining in for the interview.
Thank you Albert, a pleasure to be here.
Could you please give us a short introduction on you as a person and your company?
I look after corporate affairs, investor relations for Potash West. We are listed on the Australian Securities Exchange. We also have a listing on the Frankfurt Bourse. Potash West is a very considerable project, phosphate. It lies between the cities of Perth and Geraldton in Western Australia. It's approximately 200 kilometres north to south and approximately 70 kilometres east to west. So it's a massive project of near to surface, low grade phosphate. Our benefits are that we have all of the infrastructure that we need to develop quickly. Roads, power, access to two ports, the port of Kwinana near Perth and the port of Geraldton to our north. We have gas power. We have a willing local labour force, so no need to fly in and fly out people. It's a mining area, and we are rapidly developing our first project, Dinner Hill, which is really just the far northern corner of the Dandaragan Trough, which is the feature that hosts what we consider to be one of the most prospective phosphate deposits in the world.
So how much of exploration spending did you do during the last months and years?
You know, I can't give you an exact figure, but I think it would be pretty close to about $8 to $10 million. Considerable drilling, a great deal of surveying. The area was originally drilled up by the Western Australian government in the 1960s. So it's a known resource. The economics didn't work in the 60s, but they certainly do look attractive now.
So the potash market is quite interesting as well. You have phosphate, it's all about fertilizers. You have growing mankind, at least. They're growing in numbers. You get billions of people that want to be fed. So what do you think are the main markets you're delivering your fertilizer products into?
I think Potash West's Dandaragan Trough has got a unique advantage. West Australia is a world-class mining precinct, stable government, a long history of successful mining operations. I refer you to the Pilbara iron ore precinct, now the world's biggest iron ore resource and producing area. And we think that the Dandaragan Trough may well be the potash equivalent to the Pilbara. Vast, great longevity. We are within days of the major markets in China, India, which imports all of its fertilizer at this moment, Southeast Asia, and we think that with the increasing population, recent discussions in Australia with the government and Chinese business leaders to develop perhaps the northern part of Australia as a massive food bowl for Western China. And they're talking figures of $40 to $50 billion worth of development. Whether you see Potash West Dandaragan Trough as a potential import replacement for phosphate and ultimately potash, or whether it becomes an export-orientated project, we are certainly in a very good place at a very good time.
So what are your next steps with the company? Are you expanding your drilling programs, for example, trying to expand the resource, or are you going up for production and just go for it?
We are beginning the earlier stages of our pre-feasibility study, and we will be then moving on to the full bankable feasibility study for Dinner Hill, which is just the far northern corner, but it represents what the many other parts of the Dandaragan Trough can do. We are considering our options, joint venture partners, looking for an industry player, strategic investors, and these will be decided by the company in the coming weeks and months. Our capex compared to the massive potash and phosphate projects in other parts of the world are very, very small. We mine close to the surface, strip mining. So we have a lot of economic benefits as well as our location. So we started the pre-feasibility study with the intent to go on to the bankable feasibility study, and in a perfect world with a strong industry player joint venturing us.
So there's a lot of news in the pipeline to get along in the near-term future, and it will be very interesting for investors to follow your company. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, Albert.